Bias. We talk about bias. Bias can be negative, but a great teacher of mine always said, without bias, there is no learning. And he's a professor of machine learning. So he was talking about in the context of artificial intelligence, if you aren't making associations and generalizations, then there's no prediction, there's no learning. That's actually part of learning, and also part of understanding cognitive science and bias is that bias is inevitable because it is how we make generalizations, and because a generalization is inherently heuristic, we'll talk more about that term later, it's not always going to perfectly represent every situation. There's going to be errors. So bias helps us make generalizations, and bias also always leaves room for error. So that's a mess, and that's why people get really confused about it. But it's really important to understand, because what I'm trying to say is that we don't make these logical fallacies. The reason they're a pattern is because they have to do with our evolution, and we like to think that we evolved perfectly because we imagine that it was planned by something else. But the truth is that things that are maladaptive can be passed down, and things that are adaptive in one situation and maladaptive in another situation will often be passed down, and that includes all of this. So is it advantageous to sometimes be a little bit cautious of lightning and thunder? Yeah, sometimes when you understand that thunder and lightning has to do with electricity, you also plan to not stand by a big metal pole as well.